Hello and welcome to our...
En gang til, jeg lo mye.
Shut up, Glenn! Hello and welcome to our October subscription tasting with friends video. Today I'm in the hallway of between offices. I'm in the first floor with my roastery, and this is Nordic Approach's floor. So we're kind of in the hallway, so it's a little bit noisy. But I'm going to taste some coffee with my friend Kaya Carretta, who is the lab manager at Nordic Approach. Sitting next to me, Kaya Carretta. Who are you?
I'm the lab manager of Nordic Approach.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you do?
What I do is that I manage a team of people in the lab, one floor up. And we basically take care of all the samples that come in and go out of Nordic Approach. So all offer samples, all pre-shipments, all arrivals from the warehouse. We help the buying team cup their coffee, so we roast a lot. Yeah. We make sure that if there's an issue with the coffee, like maybe if it's too high in moisture, or if there's something wrong with the greens, that would go through the lab where we do an assessment. And yeah, so a lot of reporting, a lot of logistics, and a lot of cupping.
Yeah, but before you did that, you roasted coffee at Solberg.
Yeah.
Solberg & Hansen in Norway, which is the biggest specialty roaster and one of the pioneers in the coffee world, I would say.
Yeah.
You've also been a barista.
Yeah, I was working, I mean, baristas will probably hit me if I say barista, but
you made coffee.
I made coffee. I poured water on coffee and then served it to people for money, which was fine. Yeah. But yeah, no sugar and no milk.
No sugar, no milk. That was the
concept. Big difference.
Yeah. So Nordic Approach is an import company that I actually was co-founding with Morten Vennerskår, good friend of ours. Yeah. I'm not kind of part of it at all. Like we work in the same building. I have my roastery in the first floor and office in the second floor, and you are in the third and fourth. So we're very good friends. You know, we do stuff together.
We do stuff.
But let's get to the point. The reason why we're here is to taste this month's subscription coffee, which looks like this. It looks brown. It tastes a little brown as well.
It does taste a little bit brown.
For me, you know, when I taste coffees, I think about color. So Kenya would typically be pink and purple. Ethiopians maybe yellow and orange. Colombians maybe a little kind of green and red. El Salvadoran coffees, brown.
Brown.
Yes. And with brown, I mean, it has a lot of nutty, chocolatey, these kind of flavors. Purple coffee would be like berries and winey, these kind of things.
Yeah.
So this is actually a Pacamara variety. We sent out some Pacamara last month as well to some of our subscribers from Marisabel and Moises, the one we competed with in the Nordic Roaster Competition last weekend, and that went pretty well.
It did!
Yes.
Yeah!
We won with that coffee, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
It tasted fantastic. We were supposed to compete with this coffee.
Yeah.
So this is also a really good coffee, but when we blind cupped this one next to the Pacamara from Marisabel and Moises, most of our staff chose the Marisabel and Moises coffee, so we decided to compete with that. But this is actually a Pacamara from Gilberto Barahona in Los Pirineos in El Salvador. A farmer you might have seen on some of our videos. You're buying a lot of his coffees.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, and he's specializing in Pacamaras and Bourbons, and also different processes. So I normally just buy the washed ones because I don't really like the kind of very fruity flavors you get from naturals. But he does a lot of naturals, he does a lot of honey coffees.
Yeah.
And you buy like a range of everything.
We do buy a big range, and what's so fun about working with Gilberto is that he's so eager to experiment, and he's very like cooperative on like figuring out how to do stuff the best. And yeah, he's a great like sparring partner, like you can play with and like do fun experiments with.
He had a fantastic lecture during the Nordic Roaster Forum this last weekend, and that lecture will be on the YouTube channel of Nordic Barista Cup. So if you're interested in learning more about how he's working in order to increase quality, I highly recommend looking at that. It's quite funny. He's very, very energetic, but very educational for anyone who are interested in coffee. It's not like you have to be an expert to understand what he's doing.
No, absolutely not.
Should we taste?
Absolutely.
And tell me your honest opinion here.
Yeah. It's fun because to me, it almost tastes like if I was gonna say like color.
Yeah.
I would say more seasoned. So this is like a really good autumn coffee. For me, it tastes like caramelized apples.
Yeah.
Some nuts, roasted nuts, or like in Norway we have these almonds that you have like a sugar coating on the side of.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So for me, at least, you get fruit up front. Yeah. Lots of it actually, surprising amount, and also this kind of chocolatey, nutty flavor. But what we did with this Pacamara was, I mean, the Pacamara already has a little bit of fruit flavor. But we actually fermented this in plastic barrels for like 36 hours in a controlled climate, so 16 degrees. So very long fermentation. And then we washed it like a normal washed coffee and soaked it in water and then dried on raised beds in shade. So it's kind of a meticulous process that we did specifically for the competition.
That's cool. I'm very curious now. You said 16 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm not very good on like fermentation, but I know that when you ferment something, the heat goes up.
Yeah. So the room was actually a refrigerated container.
Oh, okay.
With temperature control. So of course the temperature inside the coffee when it's fermenting, it rises because there's a lot of other microorganisms kind of recreating themselves.
Yeah.
So it gets hot in there. But the idea with this was that Gilberto had read a report from Colombia, from Cafe, which is a research foundation in Colombia, researching coffee. And they had found that the best results flavor-wise when they did fermentation was around 16 degrees. So that's why I wanted to try it. And then when I was there and I said, we need to make a Pacamara for the competition, and he said, I have just the perfect thing for you to do.
Yeah.
So we did buy a little bit of this, not much because it was a small experiment, and we bought the normal washed one, and then we bought the honey processed one. They taste very different, and this for me was the best one.
It's sure. Very complex.
Yeah, I think so. Let's taste it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite intense. How would you brew this?
If I was gonna be selfish with such a good coffee, I would probably do an AeroPress. And I would just use the regular recipe that you do in the bar at Caballero. Because it's the only recipe that I really can recreate.
Yeah.
And that tastes as good time after time, regardless of the coffee.
Yeah.
Because I know it like in and out.
So you can see that recipe on our brewing guides that we have online. It's pretty easy. It's
very easy and it's very stable because once you've done it like 3 times, you have it. It's there in your hands.
It's very sweet, this coffee.
It is.
So we're sending out the Pacamara for the filter subscribers. We don't have a lot of this coffee, so for the espresso we're actually going to send out the Bourbon. But that's also one of my favorite espressos of the year. And it's especially great with milk because it's very low acidity but really sweet and chocolatey. And, so we're going to send out that for all the espresso subscribers. Anything else we need to add? People ask me what kind of water should I brew with.
Oi.
What do you think? Clean water.
Clean water.
I think
tip.
In general, like if you have a lot of calcium in your water, use bottled water and make sure the mineral content is around 100 parts per million or milligrams per liter, preferably a little bit less. Here in Norway, it's around between 50 to 80 milligrams per liter of total mineral content, which is very soft.
Very soft.
So use Oslo water. That's the best one.
Yeah, use Oslo water.
Also, if you do filter brews, this coffee is quite intense, so you can actually go a little bit down on dosage. So I would maybe use 60 grams per liter because you do get a big body. And
absolutely, yeah.
And if you like coffee with milk, this would taste great, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. The sweetness is like, it's like, fruit that has been caramelized or something that has been caramelized.
Yeah. We've done a couple of videos in the past. Last year I went to Los Pirineos and was literally blown away on the farm because it's his farm is on a volcano in El Salvador, so it's of course very windy. Like there's nothing, no barriers. It's a beautiful, beautiful farm. And his mill is on the top, and there's a little bit of coffee on further up the hill, and that's where these coffees are from. And that's of course the best coffees. It's around 1600 meters above sea level. And the farm actually starts around 1100, so it just goes up the volcano. It's a pretty unique place, so if you want to see more from that farm, you should definitely check out those videos, and you can see my hair blowing sideways, which is funny.
It is a really funny video.
Yeah.
I've watched it several times.
Next year and the years to come, we'll probably start getting other varieties as well. Gilberto's planted a lot of Geisha, Kenya varieties, Sudan Rumé, Laurinia, which has low caffeine content.
Yeah, I think the first time I met Gilberto, he had brought a lot of samples from his garden where he has like tons of different varieties planted all over, just as like an experiment, and that was probably like almost 3 years ago now. And that was like super fun. But now that's actually happening. Yeah, he planted the best ones. So I think he has 50 varieties in his garden, and then I actually helped him 2 years in a row. We cut through everything and scored and classified, and so we decided to plant, I think, altogether like 10 varieties. Yeah. And we'll see how they do. Like, he's planting like crazy. So in the coming years, he's gonna be probably the best producer in El Salvador, I think. Yeah, I think so too. He has an incredible stamina and like a very good, not only a really good willpower, but also like a very good work ethic, if you ask me, because he will just, if he fails, he will just try again, or maybe just alter his processing a little bit just to get it right. And one of the cool things about Gilberto is that he's actually more of a businessman. Very much. But his heart is in coffee. He inherited the farm from his family. But of course, during the war in the 80s, he couldn't go to the farm because the land was kind of occupied by guerrillas. So when he came back and could start working on the farm again, he was owning it with his brother, and now he bought his brother out. So he's now putting all his money and effort into coffee and kind of stopped doing business. Just doing coffee. Yeah, and he doesn't look like a typical coffee farmer. No, he doesn't. And but he's a fantastic guy, and I've certainly learned a lot from him, and also vice versa. We've done both Nordic Approach, and I have been there to kind of help him do processes that we prefer, with some good results and some not so good. Yeah, that's what coffee is. Yeah, it varies. Cool. Yeah. You like the coffee? I like the coffee. Yeah? I do. Can I drink more now? Yeah. Okay. Let's do one last sip. One last sip. Yeah. Why these cups? Remind me? Well, these cups are actually specifically designed to enhance sweetness. Ooh. So there has been a research done on it by a Brazilian neuroscientist called Fabiana Carvalho. She was also lecturing at the Nordic Roaster this weekend, and that lecture will also be online. But she did research on this after they were made, of course, and could confirm that people found coffees to be sweeter and less acidic with these cups. And since this is a brown coffee, like very sweet, the acidity is there, but it's not so present. We tend to serve it in this kind of cup just to enhance the drinking experience. So that's why we do that. Fun. Great. Well, I hope you like the coffee. Thank you, Kaya, for drinking with us. Thank you. And if you like these videos and the other videos, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're not subscribing to our coffees and want to drink coffees like this, maybe you should do so. Until next time. Bye.